Hey y'all, it's been fairly warm and humid today here in northeast Texas. It's September the 2nd, 2022. Well, the year's going by fast. Just wanted to show some wild edible plants, and most of these are also medicinal. I'm not going to go into all the uses or all the ways to prep them. Just wanted to show them, make you aware of them, and then you can do your due diligence on looking them up. Right here, I have purslane. And the leaves, I love just snacking on them. They don't have just a strong flavor to me, but they're mucilaginous. I mean, they have a little bit of a, I guess you'd say, somebody would call it a sliminess to them when you eat them. Soothes the throat. I don't know all the mineral and vitamin content in them right now, but I know they are good for you. They're very edible, and a plant that you should be aware of. I would not recommend just taking them off the side of the road or out of a city sidewalks. They will, the roots do absorb toxins in the soil, and will, that will be ingested if you do so. So try not to do that. Find you some, get them planted in your yard, and they will grow, take over sort of. So I've got them in a lot of my planters. This is a baby plant, not very representative of the plant, but this is a dock, and dock is very delicious as a salad green. Here's another young plant, more along the lines of what dock will look like. The leaves get like 6 or 8 times bigger than this, but these young leaves like this, very delicious in a salad. I would assume because of the flavor profile that they have some vitamin C in them, but I haven't Googled that or looked that up or found out. But they do have a very tart flavor, kind of like they've had some lemon juice or something poured on them. Very good mixed with other greens in a salad. That's dock. Whew. That's tart. Probably some kind of an acid in there, plant-based acid. I don't know if it's ascorbic acid or what. Let me see if I can find a good representation of the next plant I want to show you. I have one here, but I kind of pulled on it today accidentally, and I broke off part earlier. So I don't know, but here's the leaves. This is lamb's quarters. I love this green. Can't really get my camera to focus well. Very distinctive leaf shape, and here's the broken off one, starting to wilt. But you have a kind of a square filling stem. If you roll your hand, it's not round like a lot of plants you would expect, and it has some vertical striping on it. Pretty cool looking. But this is a very delicious green. You can cook it. You can eat it raw. To me, it has a nutty, kind of light nutty flavor. It's not just tasting like green grass. I love just grazing on it outside, eating it. That's lamb's quarters. It's very high in protein. Very delicious plant. Some neat history on that if you look it up. Used in the Great Depression. People were low on food. They fed it to their animals and survived with that stuff. Another plant I've just become slightly familiar with is Cita. Here's Cita. It's a very medicinal plant. And this is Cita rhombifolia. You can see that the teeth start fading away down toward the stem and disappear. That's indicative of the Cita rhombifolia. There's several other Citas out there. Edible, whole plant, leaf, stems, roots, flowers, all edible. And I think they say this is about an average of a 7.4% protein, plant-based protein in this plant. Eating it as a green vegetable. I'm not going into all the medicinal benefits of it, but it's also kind of like I was talking about the purslane a while ago. Cita is mucilaginous when you eat it raw like this, and soothing to the throat. part of the medicine in it is that it's used for coughs and asthmas and so on. And by the way, as a wild edible, don't forget your blackberries. Not just the fruit, the leaves. Excellent medicine, excellent in teas. Mix it with some mint or something and put it in your teas and drink it. So yeah, I have this Cita just coming up everywhere. It is a little bit invasive, but food that takes over, food that's growing everywhere you walk, I don't have a problem with that. Just keep snacking. Here in Northeast Texas, we also do have these wild mulberries. And we're not in fruit right now, but plenty of wild mulberries growing around here. Let me move on. We have another plant over here. Wild Amaranth. And this one doesn't have the seed head on it. The seed head is very distinctive. A lot of people, if they grow flower gardens, you'll grow a decorative type of amaranth. This is just the wild amaranth. Use it like you would spinach or anything else. And very delicious. Cooked green. And just grows everywhere. Again, this is like the lamb's quarters in that. Oh, it wasn't. It was the Cita has the. Well, I'm sitting there talking about so many plants, I'm getting mixed up. It is the amaranth. Has the striped. Man, I'm going crazy. Has the striped stems on the amaranth. The Cita does not. Here's some more Cita growing right beside this amaranth. But the amaranth doesn't have. I mean, it has a flower stalk and a seed head that kind of grows up and kind of bends over like a plume. But this doesn't have that on this particular little plant. So just wanted to show you some wild edibles, things that you can look for around the yard. Like I said, a lot of these are also medicinal. I've got several others that grow in the yard. Plantain and Hillsall, they're not in season right now. But if you look around your yard, you might be surprised at how many edibles you have. Another wild edible that we really love around here is the passion vine, also called maypops. They grow wild. Passion fruit vines. And I don't see any flowers fully open. There's one that's faded. The flowers are spectacular. The fruit is delicious as all get out. This one is not ripe. You got to wait till they're kind of, you would think they were overripe or ruined. They get all wrinkly and kind of like they're drying up and shrinking in. And then the flesh around the seeds is just very tropical. I love it. So on the, let's see, yeah, it's evening time. They're all closing up, but they are very beautiful flowers when they're fully opened. So I love my wild edibles. I love foraging. The act of going out, finding food. I'm not talking about going out and finding it on the grocery shelf, but in your backyard, in the woods. You know, finding your herbs. Let your food be your medicine, is the old saying. So I love doing that. Here's another one, mullein. Now this isn't something we eat. You're enjoying the mullein for a look around, aren't you? Mullein is a medicinal plant used in a lot of medicines to do with the lungs, for asthmas and different things, colds and coughs, and very you can see very velvety feeling. One humorous use of this plant, they call it cowboy toilet paper. The leaves are very soft and velvety. Oh yeah, how about that when you're out in the woods? Anyways, I'm I'm going to cut this off here in the interest of not being too long-winded. I hope y'all enjoyed that, found it useful, informative. And if you want to know more about some of these plants, you can definitely shoot me a message or look it up. You know, find your information, figure out what you can do. I don't want to put something out there and someone partake in it and it affects you adversely, but just showing you what is out there and you can use it as you see fit. Hope y'all have a wonderful evening, wonderful life. God bless.